In this video, we'll be looking at Advanced Family Medicine's website. I'll be showing you how to customize your website and content better using basic WordPress functions. So first thing you'll have to do is you'll go to advancedfamilymed.com/WP-admin, and it'll bring you to this login screen. From here, you're going to enter your username and password, and you can click Remember Me and log in. Once you log in, it'll bring you to this basic dashboard. You won't have to do much here usually. In this video, we're going to be looking at this left menu bar, and I'll be showing you most of it, everything you'll have to worry about there. The first thing is the Updates tab. In the Updates tab, you can go through and you can see all of your plugins and all of your themes and your version of WordPress, and you can choose to update them yourself if you want. You won't have to though, because we go in regularly and update all of your plugins and themes as long as they are currently compatible with your WordPress version. The next thing is posts. Your posts are going to essentially be where you find all of your blogging content. In order to add a new post, you click Add New here, or you can click Add New here in the sidebar. If you're in a post, you'll at the top have this text editor, and this will be where all of the content of the actual post is. Within the content editor here, you can add new text. You can also use all these functions at the top here to change the way the text appears. So here you can change the way that it's sized. Next to that, you can bold it, or you can make it italics. You can make a bulleted list, a numbered list, block quotes. You can align it different ways. You can also insert or edit links. So the way you do that is by clicking Insert/Edit Link. It'll pop up this box and highlight and underline the text that'll be linked below. And then you put your URL, or you can search through your different pages. So if you wanted to link it to google.com, you would type in the URL for that. And then you could hit here, which is apply, or you could just hit enter. And then you have a link to google.com. If you ever want to edit this link for any reason, you can just look at the little pencil button right here, click that, and then you can change the URL. Or you can click here to look at further link options. You can change the way that the link text appears. You can make it open in a new tab, which is pretty useful. Or, like I said, you can search through all of your current pages and posts and make a link to one of those. If you ever have a link in your text that you want to get rid of, you can either click here, remove link, or you can go into the edit button and just delete it. Whenever you're making changes to a page or a post, we always have this Preview Changes button up here, and if you click that, it'll open up a new tab which will show you a preview of the changes that you've made. So I typed in hello new text, and here at the bottom it says hello new text. And you can always come in this first tab and then type in some more things. Come up, click preview changes, and then it'll update this tab. Even more new text. And that's a useful function if you don't ever want to immediately update the live website. So if you're ever making large text changes or large format changes, the Preview Changes button is a very useful thing, because then to anyone not logged into the back end of your website looking at the preview changes, it'll appear how it did before and not with all the changes that you've made. With posts, you also have the ability to make a draft, make it to where it's pending review, You can change the date that it's published on, so if you ever had a blog or a post that you wanted to have published sometime in the future, you could set the date, change that, and then hit OK, and update it, and then it would change that to where it no longer was published on this date, but it would publish in a future date. You have categories over here on the side if you ever wanted to add categories for if you had a lot of blog posts. And then over here you can change the featured image. So up here at the top, that'll change that header image for you. And you can crop it as well. You won't ever have to worry about the layout settings, but the excerpt here will also be just a snippet that people will see either in your theme or in search engines. If you ever wanted to add any media that was within the actual post itself, then you could click anywhere and then click Add Media. And then this is all the things that you have uploaded to your site. You could click on one of those and hit Insert into Post, or you can click Upload Files and select a file directly from your computer. In here you can also edit the caption. Yeah. And then you just click Insert into Post, and then I would put it there. But we don't want that, so I'll delete that real quick. You click on it and click Remove. Cool. You can also strike through text. You can add horizontal lines. You can change the text color. You can clear the formatting. If you wanted to clear the formatting of a specific area, you could highlight it, click Clear Formatting, and it gets rid of whatever formatting you had in there. You can change the indents or undo or redo and edit. And then next over here on the left side menu bar we have Accordion Pro. In Accordion Pro we have large amounts of information that we can condense into what we call accordions. That way they look more condensed and better on your website. So if you ever wanted to change the way that an accordion looked or add another accordion, then you could do it through there. And this is what an accordion looks like. So you have all the different areas. That way you don't just have a really large block of text. It's really easy to navigate and see different information. And so in here you can change the accordion title, which will change the first line here, or you can change the actual body of text here, which will change what is displayed below it. And these text editors work exactly like the ones that I just showed you, so you can do everything that you did in those there. If you ever wanted to add more questions or anything to an accordion, then you can click Add New Accordion, and it'll add one in here, and you can hit the plus button there, and it'll expand it so that you can see everything inside of it, and you could change the title, and then whatever text you wanted right in here. Next down on the side menu is the Media button. We can click here to see all the media that you have uploaded to your website. And that'll include image, audio, video, and any other sort of media you have. You can organize it by dates, or you can look at it in a list mode. Most of the time you won't be in here, but you can come in here if you wanted to add media, clicking the Add New button here at the top. And you would just either drag the files in here or click Select Files. Most of the time you wouldn't need to use the Media tab because you would be adding media directly through the posts or the pages, like I showed you earlier. So then moving down even farther to the pages, this is going to be what is mostly displayed on your website. Every page of your website that you can get to through either the menu or your home page will be represented here in some way, shape, or form. And so you can click on one of these, or you can add a new one up here, clicking Add New, or over here, clicking Add New. And it works very similar to the posts, except they have a couple extra functions. And so the text editor here, you can edit the text the way I showed you before, using the headings or any of these functions. You can add the media. And then this also has a preview changes button, and also has a featured image button over here that you can set by clicking Set Featured Image. If you're ever confused about where to find a page section, you can click this little arrow to either expand or condense it. If you ever want to add a new page section, if you have a separate set of content that you want included on the same page, you can click Add Page Section here, and it'll create a new one right below it. And you can click this to remove it, or you can click that to add another row. With some of these page sections, you'll need to change the background. So if you click on the background tab here, you can click Add Image, and you can click an image, hit Select, and then the background image will be displayed here. And then if we go to Preview Changes, we can scroll down, and you can see the background image that I set here on this page section is displayed in the background behind this green color. Then if you ever wanted to save that, you would just click Update, because remember, you need to click Update to actually make it live on the site. We're still in just the Preview Changes tab. Cool. If you ever are in one of these Pages tabs and there's extra clutter somewhere at the bottom, like these layout settings, the Yoast SEO, revisions, slider evolution, if these things are ever out here and you don't want to see them, you can scroll up to the top. There's a tab here called Screen Options, and you can select all the ones that you don't want on there. So let's say you wanted to get rid of the Yoast SEO and the layout settings. You could just check those, and then scroll down here, and those are gone. And then moving down the side some more, we have two pods here. This first one is Services. These will have all the services that you offer. If you ever needed to add a new one, you can click Add New. Within your services, you'll have a set number of fields, which will be located here. You'll have the label, and you'll have the description. And then also you'll have a featured image over here. And so if you ever wanted to add a new one or edit a current one, you could come in here, you could change the label, or you could edit the text. The text editing works just like all the other text editors. And then you have staff members here. It's the same thing, but if you ever needed to add a staff member, you could click here or here and add a staff member. Under Appearance over here, we have a couple things we need to look at. The first is widgets. Widgets are going to be primarily the way we use them, the top and bottom sections of your website, or the headers and footers. And so all of this content up here will be located in a widget, as well as all of the content down here. So if we look at this, we have header right, which is image simple. This will be your header image. This is your visual editor, which has this text in it, and then you'll have a navigation menu. So that's represented by your image here, this text, and then your navigation menu. We also have some content in before header, which is this visual editor, which has just your phone number in it. And that's represented right here, which is before your header. In your footer, we have image simple, which is a map, your visual editor, which has some text in it and an address. Then we have footer 2, which also has a navigation menu, and that's just your social media menu, which is located right here. And we have a couple visual editors with some text in them. So if for any reason you ever needed to come down here and edit some of this text or add a new social media item, then you could update those things through here. If you ever needed to edit the things, let's say you got a new phone number, you can come in here and edit that and edit the link. If you ever needed to change out your logo because you got a new one, you can do that here. You could change the text that you have here. If you ever needed to add a completely new widget, the list of all the widgets is located over here to the left. For adding text, you would use the visual editor widget, and then you would add it to whatever section you needed to add it to. So if you wanted to edit to header right, you could click this and then click add widget. If you needed to add it to before header, you could click here and then click add widget, or one of the footers. If you ever needed to add an image, we usually use image simple, and it works the same way for adding. You would click whatever section you wanted to add it to, click add widget, and the way the image simple works is it has choose an image here, you click that, and then you choose whatever image from your media library, or you can upload an image. Currently it looks just blank because the logo we're using is just plain white, so the plain white on the white background looks just blank. You can also choose to link images using this right here. You can either type in a link, or you can click this little magnifying glass and you can find a post or a page by scrolling, or if you know exactly what you want, you can type it in the search bar. You can also choose to open a new window if you want by clicking that box there. The next item in appearance that we want to look at is menus. And so you click on that, and we are brought to your menus page. So in order to select a menu to edit, you click on this right here. You'll have your social and your main menu. Currently your social menu is pulled up, and all it has is your custom Facebook link. So right here is your Facebook URL, and then right here is going to be a URL that represents the Facebook logo right here. And so if you ever had new social media such as a Twitter or an Instagram you wanted to add, we could come in here, add a custom link, the URL, and then the image URL. And if you ever have any questions about any of these things, you could just ask us and we could definitely help you out with that. And then to select the main menu, you change it to main menu and select. And so if you ever wanted to add a item to your top level menu here, this is where you would do it. So let's say you added another page that has some more stuff that you sell on it. You could click on the page over here. Let's say you wanted to add this to your top level menu. You click on the check mark, click add to menu. It would toss it on the bottom right there, and then you could drag it to wherever you wanted it. If you wanted to have a sub item under a menu, you would drag it over a little bit to the right. That way it says sub item. And if you wanted to add even further sub items, you could go pretty much infinitely on that. And so after you do all the edits you want, you can click Save Menu, and then it will save all the changes that we made. If you ever wanted to change what appears here in the menu, you can click this arrow, and then the navigation label here. You can change that to where it says whatever you want, and so then that would only change the way that it looks here. It would still link to whatever this says right here, which is services. So if ever for any reason you wanted to change the way that it appeared, if it was too wordy or something like that, you could change it there. Going down the side menu some more, we have the Users tab. In the Users tab, you're going to find all of your users that you have. These are going to be administrators, people who have login information that want to get into the site. To add a new user, you click here, or you can scroll down and click Add New here. If you ever wanted to go into a user and edit some of their properties, you can just click on their name there. Most of the stuff you won't really have to worry about, but one thing that you may need is going to be the new password here. You can click Generate Password, and then it can change the new password right here. You can type in your own, or it'll generate it. And then you just hit Update User after you have typed in that box what you want. But make sure you type it down or write it down somewhere, because there isn't a second box where you have to confirm it or anything. Scrolling down this left side some more. Tools, settings, custom fields, SEO, FooBox. These aren't things that you'll have to worry about usually. If you ever have any questions about them, feel free to ask us though. The next thing you'll need to look at is Slider Revolution. Within Slider Revolution, we'll have typically these large images here at the top of your website. This is what we'll be editing using Slider Revolution. In order to add a new slider, you can click here to add a new slider. Or if you want to edit a current slider, let's say you don't like this background image or something like that, you can click here, and it'll bring you to the slide editor. So currently, this is going to be your slide here. It'll have some text and a background image. If you ever wanted to change the main background image, you could click the media library here, and then click on whatever image you wanted to change this background image to. And then you would click Insert. Keep in mind that changing the background image will not change any of this text, so you could switch out whatever images you want behind there and not have to worry about this. In order to edit that text though, you'll need to click down here. This is an image actually, so this is a logo that you've provided us with, so you can't exactly edit any of the text within this area. We'd have to upload an entirely new image to change that. So you'd click the little pencil right here if you wanted to change that image, and then you could click whatever you wanted in there. This here is a text box actually, so you could click the little pencil there and it would bring up this, redefining wellness. You could add whatever you wanted to that and it updates it live for you. Same with this here, you can update, say you changed your hours, you're actually open to 9 now, you can just update that and then click the little check mark. As well as with this, click the little edit button and you can change that there. And then after you've made all the changes you want to make sure that you click Save Slide, otherwise all those changes won't actually take. If you ever wanted to add multiple slides, you could always add another slide. That way, this is more of a slideshow, so you could have multiple photos of different patients or doctors sliding through here every 6 or so seconds. And then if you ever did that, you might want to actually add a static or global layer. So if you did that, then you could click Add Layer here. You could add text, image, or anything else you wanted. Usually we don't mess with too much more than text or images. Click that, and then you can, of course, edit the text here. Let's see. You have WordFence, Google Maps, Pods Admin. Those aren't things that you'll typically have to mess with, really. And once again, if you ever have any questions about your website, about making changes to it, if you're confused about anything that took place in this video, be sure to let us know. We look forward to working with you and are excited to see your site grow.